yesterday I talked a little bit about why chemo. And I think it's important in order for me to share my story that I share how I completely lost my hair during my chemo treatment. And it was actually not your normal hair loss. When I went in to see the nurse before I started my chemo treatment, she went over what I could expect while I was on the Cytoxan. And one of the things she talked about was losing more hair. And I was already overwhelmed, and I was already really pissed off at lupus that it had taken so much away from me. And now I had to be tortured with chemotherapy that I just started crying. And she looked at me, she said, "You need to stop." She deliberately just took my hands and said, "You got this." And then she told me, if you want to take control of your illness and control of your body, you need to go home and you need to shave your head. And I looked at her like she was crazy. And she told me, she was like, if you want to go through this treatment, your hair may fall out slowly, just like it has for the past 11 months. And you're going to shed your hair, and every time you shed your hair, you're probably going to cry, and you're going to get more frustrated because it's more hair falling out. If you go home and you shave your hair, you're going to have control of what's happening in your body once and for all. You're not going to have to wait for your hair to fall out. You're going to make it happen on your own. And she also told me that as soon as I shave my head, that will stimulate my hair cells to grow back thicker and evenly. So I went home and I felt like Britney Spears, but I shaved my head. And for the first few days, I'm like, what in the world did I just do? But then I felt a sense of empowerment. You know, it was no longer me dreading going to take a shower because I knew as soon as I washed my hair, I was going to have clumps of hair sticking to my hands, or waking up in the morning, looking at my pillow and having clumps of hair sitting there, or sweeping the floors and finding that I was collecting more hair than I was dirt. And it felt good. It felt good that I, in a very small way, had a little bit of control of what was happening in my body. And wouldn't you know it, a few months later after I finished my treatment, and even during my treatment, I started doing all these things that the nurse was saying, like massaging my scalp and having some vitamins, and my hair started growing back. And my hair has never been this healthy since my diagnosis, and I owe that all to that one nurse who told me to take control of what was happening in my body. And I'm very grateful for that. Definitely felt very stupid when I did it, and it was hard the first few months because I felt so naked, but it was empowering, and I'm glad I did.